Hey friends, for Wine Wednesday, I wanted to share with you guys my personal wine history, I should say. I started drinking wine when I was in my 20s, but of course, I was in my 20s, so I was drinking just about everything. I would say the first wine that I remember drinking the most of was the Carlo Rossi, the big jugs of wine. We would turn that into sangria in the summer. My friends and we'd hang out by the pool. It'd be amazing, good time. The next day I would wake up with a vicious hangover. My head would be pounding, I felt sick. I always thought that it was because, we were maybe overindulging ourselves. And so I never really thought that the ingredients in the wine could have been affecting me. Of course, most likely, again, it was my early 20s. Most likely it was the fact that we were just, maybe drinking a little too much. Then later, I could afford better wine and I would still get sick. So I realized that there were white wines that I couldn't drink because I could have a glass or two of wine, white wine, and I would immediately, like, my nose will start to get congested. I just felt awful. So I tried to stay away from those. And then I realized, okay, so I like red wine. I stuck to the Pinot Noir. That's my favorite. It still is. And, then I would experiment with the different brands from there. And I always felt like, okay, the more expensive the wine, of course, this is going to be better. I'm going to feel great. Wrong. There were many times that we would buy, $40, $50 bottle of Pinot Noir, and I would still feel horrible. I'd feel sick, and I just didn't understand it. So much so that I actually considered giving up wine, y'all. Yes, I was desperate. It was bad. Then my husband's, an old co-worker of his, was part of the Scout and Cellar team, and so she had sent us a couple of bottles to try when I was in that, transition of trying to figure out what I wanted to drink. And so we shared a bottle of wine, and by share I would say that he had a glass and I had the rest of the bottle. And the next day I was fine. I was like, oh my gosh, I drank a few glasses of wine last night and I'm fine. And I like to drink wine, when I cook dinner. I'll have a glass as I'm cooking, kind of sets my mood. And the fact that I could actually get through a couple of glasses and not hate life the next morning was amazing. So that's how I ended up trying Scout and Cellar. And as you guys know, with my other video, I'm not a white wine drinker. Now, I did drink rosé. Some of my favorite, well, really the rosé that I was kept stocked in my fridge was the Miraval, which I loved. But again, I stopped drinking so much of it because I just felt horrible. Now, I'm not saying anything about that. If you love it, you do you. This was just for me personally. I just felt like it was just affecting my body in a negative way. So fast forward, I am now trying this L'Original rose wine, and it is part of our Scout and Cellar group of wines. It is delicious. I had a couple of glasses yesterday, woke up fine. I'm having a glass of wine today and I feel great. So I encourage you guys I'm going to show you a visual of the difference between our wine and a lot of the wines out there. So wonderful Wine Wednesday.